Okay, we're going to do a little example of matrix multiplication using two-digit numbers. So as we can see up here, we have our equation, and our equation is 35 times 12. If we're using multiplication with the matrix method, we have to first break apart the numbers. That's called partitioning. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our 35 and we're going to write it as 30 plus 5. So that's exactly what it is. And then on the side, we know that 12 is the same as saying 10 plus 2. Well, now that we've got it written up, what we have to do is draw in our little grid. This grid is what I refer to as matrix. And we close in our spots. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're actually going to be filling in the blank spaces. Okay? So, we first look and we see 30 times 10. Well, that's really like saying 3 times 1 and then add the zeros in. So that's 300. And then we say 5 times 10. Well, that's 50. Now we say 30 times 2, which is 60. And we say 5 times 2, which is 10. Now what we have to do is we have to add up our columns here. So we've got 300 plus 50, which equals 350. And then down here we have 60 plus 10, which equals 70. And now we just simply add up the total for a final result of 420. Right, the matrix also works very well when we're dealing with three-digit numbers. So in this case, we have our equation of 312 times 122. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by partitioning the number, which means breaking it apart, which is really 300 plus 10 plus 2 times 100 plus 20 plus 2. And now we just draw in our grid. And now all we have to do is just fill in our empty boxes. So if we start off with our first box, 3 times 100 is 300 times 100. Well, that's 3 times 1. And then we count the zeros. We have 2 here, so that's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 10 times 100. Well, that's 1. And we have 1, 2, 3 zeros. And then we have 2 times 100, which is 200. We move our way down. 3 times 20. Well, 3 times 2 is 6, and we have 3 zeros. 10 times 20 is 2 and 2 zeros. And then 2 times 20 is 40. The last one, we're going to do 300 times 2, which would be 600. 10 times 2, which would be 20. And lastly, 2 times 2, which is 4. Now, what we have to do now is we have to tally everything up. And make sure when you do this that you're doing nice columns. So right here we've got 30,000 plus 1,000 equals 31,000 plus 200 will equal 31,200. Moving over here we have 6,000 plus 200, which would be 6,200 plus 40, which would be 6,240. And lastly, we have 600 plus 20 and 4, which equals 624. Now all we have to do is add up the totals. 4, 6, 10, for a final tally of 38,064.